Michelle Estrada from Wayne County. And Michelle, welcome and thank you.
Thank you so much. I am so excited and welcome to Tasty Reads Yummy Treats. So hopefully everybody's going to have a good time. I know some of you have been working all day, but we're going to have a good time. I promise you. So again, my name is Michelle Estrada. I'm the Family and Consumer Science Agent at the Wayne County Center with Cooperative Extension and A&T, NC State University and A&T University. So let's start. We're going to start with introductions, early literacy, food literacy. We're going to talk a little bit about early food literacy, food-based activities, and resources, and any questions and ideas that you may have. So just to start a little bit, let's start describing what is early literacy. And early literacy refers to what children know about reading and writing before they can actually do it. So, and it's also another name that we use for early literacy is emergent literacy. So, evidence suggests that children learn most of their language and vocabulary at home with their families, with their caregivers, their siblings, but they actually learn code related knowledge like phonemic awareness at school and other concepts about language. So, just to give you a little bit of facts, reading aloud to children starting at birth helps to build brain connections. And we know how important it is to develop our brain, especially in those first 5 years. So, the number of words that a child knows when they start kindergarten, we know that it's a predictor of their future success in school and life. And you can find so much information about these. And it's amazing how the more the children or the better level and understanding that children have about reading and writing, they can be more successful. But it's sad to say that more than 1 in 3 American children start kindergarten without the skills that they need to learn to read. So now that we talk about early literacy, let's talk about what is food literacy. So food literacy is the knowledge, attitudes, and skills that people have about food. It is also about developing a positive relationship with food. And just to give you a little bit of information, and don't worry, we don't really have time to cover everything because this is a lot of information. And this is a concept that is kind of new to us, but I want to be sure that you have this information. So on the resources that we're going to give you today, you're going to be able to find this handout. And I really encourage you to read these. In that way, you can understand why it's really important to do food activities with children. But like, for example, the first skill is the food and nutrition knowledge. So we want to be sure that we understand about food groups and what food comes from and all that kind of stuff. Also, we want to learn about nutrition and we want to be able to use common words about to describe nutrition or to describe how to prepare food, right? So food skills are very important. We always think about where like, are we eating healthy because we have the skills to prepare that food, or we're not eating healthy because we might not have those skills. So self-efficacy and confidence, it's also very important. The more we know, the more comfortable that we feel, the better attitude that we're going to have toward foods. So another one that is very important, and we hear it all the time, is about ecologic factors. So we want to learn and we want to know more about the different food systems, right? And also what are some social determinants and of health and cultural influences in eating practices. And of course, how we make food decisions. And that's going to help us to hopefully to make healthier food choices. So I decided to put early literacy and food literacy together. And it's because we know the food preferences are formed early in life. So learning about food can prepare young children for a lifetime of healthy eating by equipping them with the beginning skills to grow, select, and cook food. So the more children understand about food, the more likely they are going to try new foods and eat healthy diets. So I hope you agree with me that early literacy and food literacy, they have to go together. Sometimes when we're in the classroom, and I think I shared this with you before, I was in the classroom for many years and I enjoy teaching children, but sometimes we concentrate so much in those skills like reading or math or physical activities or gross motor or fine motor skills that we forget that we need to teach children about daily life, about things that we do all the time. And we eat all the time, at least I eat all the time. So here are some ideas about how to put food and early literacy together. We have books about food. Hopefully you have a lot of books about food. We can do food activities in the classroom. We can do gardening. I know many of you, I have been watching your wonderful videos that we're sharing through Farm to ECE. We also have dramatic play, right? We have all these areas in our classrooms where we can use literacy, whatever is like as simple as just labeling or supplies or materials, to even do a little bit more so children feel like they have their own restaurant or they have their own farmers market. Now, if you want to go farther, you can even go to field trips. So we have a lot of things where we can put food and early literacy together. So just to start talking a little bit about food-based activities, I want to share this with you that I think is very, very, very important. So food activities should be hands-on and age appropriate, okay? If we're gonna do these food activities, it's not just you in the front of the children and you are cooking everything and children are not touching the food. Food activities should promote healthy food choices. I see many times that, educators, they want to do food activities, but if you go and look online, a lot of the food activities that we see, they are including a lot of candies or breads or, things that they are not healthy. So we want to encourage to really use what we have, like fruits and vegetables. So food activities should feature seasonal and local produce that can be found in gardens and our local farmers. And I know you have a lot of gardens, so we just need to start linking those things, right? We are growing our food, but we need to do our food activities with the food that we're growing. Food activities should be affordable for all families and use ingredients that everybody have access in their home. So another thing, we need to include photos describing each step of the food activity. And I'm here to share a lot. I love to when I have a recipe, I don't create these recipes, right? But I try to make these recipes that I find easier for educators so they can use them in the classroom. And also because I'm very passionate about early literacy, I want to be sure that children are also able to read the ingredients, to read the process. So photos, they help a lot. Have ingredients in the raw form for children to smell, to taste, to and feel. Read the food activity aloud and discussing as you go. I do that when I do cooking classes for adults, and I enjoy watching them and, like really taking that time to read the recipe. Discuss safety and sanitary measures with the children before and during the food activity, and include them in all the cleanup process. And they have to be part of each stage of the food activity. Provide writing prompts that support children to draw and write about the food activity. We don't, I'm having a good time creating these recipes or adapting it for children. We need to let them use that creativity, those literacy skills, so they can make their own recipes. Now, research has indicated that interactive share book reading can support a wide range of early language skills, and that children who are read to regularly in the early years learn language faster. So when they enter to school, of course, they're going to have a larger vocabulary and they're going to become successful readers in school. So we want to start early, right? And That's why I always say when we're introducing new ingredients or we're introducing a recipe with children, it is important that we can share some books with them so they can make that connection. So I have chose 4 books today, and we create or adapt some recipes for you. So on the PowerPoint that I'm going to share with you, you can just click on the link and you can watch the video. If you don't have the book, you can watch it with the children or you can just tell the story. So the first one that we're going to do is The Little Mouse, the Red Ripe Strawberry, and the Big Hungry Bear. It's one of my favorite books. And while we're not teaching a lot of knowledge, it is a fun book. And it's a good way to introduce the use of strawberries. So this is one, this recipe, you can use it during the spring or like right now, strawberries, they taste delicious. So that's the time that we need to use to eat those strawberries. I want to also remind you that we have, through the Steps to Health program, we have, and you can contact your extension agent in your county and ask them if they have any Harvest of the Month handouts. This is a wonderful handout. I love these handouts because they have information about North Carolina, but also it is just so easy to read. And this is a good way to connect families to the activities that we're doing. And then we have a wonderful handout that, like I said, I have so much fun. I eat a lot while I'm doing these handouts because while taking the pictures, I have to do what I have to do, right? So with these handouts, this recipe, I always include the ingredients on the top, then the kitchen tools, and then we have the steps to do the recipe. You're getting this recipe that is a regular size paper, but also I included a folder with the posters. Now I want the camera to follow me here. So I have these posters that I love when I go to the classrooms and I'm teaching a class. We sit during the circle time and we read these recipes. So then when we go to the tables, I give them a recipe, and we use one recipe per table so they can follow directions. But at least we read all these recipes together as a group. And I ask questions during that time. So it's a lot of fun. So now guess what? It's time to cook. And the first one that we're going to make after we read our recipe is going to be the strawberry shortcake kebabs. So I'm going to wash my hands really quick and then we can start. If you have any questions, please let me know while I'm washing my hands.
While she's washing her hands, I just want to let everyone know we are recording this and it will be available for everyone afterwards. Emma sends it out every Friday, and it'll also be housed on our website. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to start. I'm just going to show you some of the utensils that we're using. And since we were in the pandemic, what we decided to do is to cook individually, right? So we give the ingredients individually to the children. That way they're not mixing their ingredients. So let me show you really quick what we have in here. So again, when so if you can use disposables, that's fine. But if you want to take care of the environment, that's even better, right? So I found these plates, and we have bowls and plates for 50 cents at our big grocery store that we have in here in Wayne County. And I just wash them and wash them and wash them after I use them. But again, we also have disposables. We also have knives that are disposable, that they work really good, or we have a little bit more fancy knives that we order, but you can have this one or this one. They work out good. Jen, today we're going to use we're going to need, for the ingredients, we need 2 strawberries. We're going to need a quarter of a banana, if it's a big banana like this one. But if it was a smaller banana, you can give them just half. We're also going to need 1 small slice of pound cake. It can be angel cake if you want to do that. So here it is. We're also going to need some chocolate syrup. If your child care center does not allow you to have like chocolate or sugar or, you know, those kind of ingredients, it's okay. You don't have to. This is just for fun. And this is just a little bit. So one thing that we do in here, we purchase these are smaller, I don't know, squeeze bottles. And what I like about these bottles, and you're going to see when we start making our recipe, that it doesn't go a lot. So that's why we like this. So the first thing that we need to do, again, for kitchen tools, we need our cutting board. I don't normally use a big cutting board just because I'm here, I'm using a big cutting board. But these are from the dollar stores. So this is great. We, I think I bought like 20 and that's what I have. And sometimes we just replace them, but it's not that expensive. Like I said, we have the knife. We need some skewers, like that's how you call them, wood skewers. So one thing that I want to mention to you, they are very pointy, right? They sell some that they are not, but I say, well, I'm not going to buy because I already have some in here. So I just grab my scissors and I'm going to cut it just to make it a little bit more flat, right? So now it's safer for the children. Okay. And then we have a straw, and I'm going to show you why. I think we have done this before, and the children love these. And this is really good for fine motor skills. So what I'm going to do first, I'll wash my hands. Then I need to cut my pound cake, but it's already cut. This is like magic in here. Then I'm going to cut my banana. Okay, so when you give to the child, like I said, we're just going to give them 1/4 of a banana, and I give them the banana peeled, so that not peeled, unpeeled, so they can practice those skills, right? And for some children, they start on this side, so they have a hard time. But this is part of the process of the learning process. So I let them peel the banana, and then with our beautiful knife, we cut 2 pieces, okay? So now we have 2 pieces of cake, 2 pieces of banana, and then we're gonna need 2 strawberries. So we want to get rid of the stem, and that's why we use the straw. And this is really cool because when I'm teaching the children, I say, just watch me, okay? Let's see if this is gonna, sometimes I don't go straight and that's embarrassing, but I will. But I say, just put it in the center, in the middle, and then push, 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 push. And then you're going to see. See, it didn't happen. It's because I'm on video. So when I'm not on TV, it happens. So I still have some of the leaves. You can just pull it like this. And then you will do the same thing with the other one. Okay. And then, okay, this time went well. Good. So that's how you teach the children to core the strawberries. So now that we have our strawberries, it's time to put it in our skewer. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and this is this can be like very like, oh, you do whatever you want to do, or you can say, right now we're going to make a pattern. And actually you can start one, or you can show them, like I said, this is up to you, depending what is your objective with this activity. But I'm going to start with the banana. So I'll put my banana. Then I'm going to do my strawberry. And one thing that the children are going to be like, oh, but if the hole is here, if they want to do it that way, that's fine. But if not, we can go on the other way. So we have our strawberry. Now we're going to do our cake. Okay. And well, yes, we're using a little bit of cake. That's okay. Because the most important in here is the fruit, right? And we just want to be sure that they are trying different things. Now we did banana, strawberry, and cake. What goes next? Okay, with banana. Thank you. Then what goes next? Okay, strawberry. This is a really good activity for fine motor skills because it's not that easy. Even my fine motor skills are having a hard time in here. And then we'll do, and because it's getting heavy, and then we'll do, look at this, how beautiful. Now you only want to do one piece of banana, one strawberry, and one piece of cake. That's fine too, if you think this is too much. Okay, then we're going to put it on our plate. Okay, and this is when everybody gets so excited. I don't know why, but children get, if I have sprinkles or I have syrup, they get very excited. Okay, and we'll say just a little bit, okay? And then we'll go in fine motor skills. We are also in controlling this part is hard, right? But when we are showing them how to do it, oh my goodness. These look so good. So, and then I'm going to the camera to show you how beautiful it is. Oh. And ta-da! And this is a great activity. Like I said, you can read the book and then you cook with strawberries, or you do a food activity with strawberries, and it's just so cool. Any questions so far? Any comments or any ideas that you may have on how to do this activity different? Okay, well, we're going to go to our next activity. I hope I'm doing good on time.
The only question was, could you use local honey? And I would think that the answer would be yes. You just, with your younger children, I think it's under the 2 and under, you just have to check with parents and stuff, because they usually don't recommend honey for children under the age of 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's 1 year old, but
Okay.
But it would be really good to ask. Anytime that you do food activities, it's important to share the ingredients with parents. That way they can, because sometimes parents say, oh no, they're not allergic. The other day I was teaching a class. I asked that question, anybody's allergic? Or I asked the teachers, and they said, no, it's fine. And then the little girl said, after she ate the strawberry, she said, I'm allergic to strawberries. I almost have a heart attack.
I know you did.
Yes. And the girl, and I'm like, oh, don't eat it. And she said, my mom never lets me eat strawberries. So I was getting in panic. And the teachers, they didn't tell me that the girl was new to that classroom. So her file was not in the classroom yet, but she was fine. But I got scared. So it's always good to ask. So we're going to go to our next slide. If I can find my clicker. Marianne is going to share the slides. And I didn't mention, but Marianne is helping me today with the cameras and the slides. So this is another one of my favorite books. I think it's just so funny, and it's just a cute book. So Chicks in Salsa. And again, if you click on the watch video, you will find the video. And they have different versions. If you don't like the one that I share, that's fine. But this is a really, really cool book. Then again, I'll share with you the harvest of the month, and we have the Fiesta Salsa. It is so cool. So this actually, I got this recipe from one of the books that Sharonda gave us. I cannot remember what's the name of the book. I went blank. Well,
is it a physical toolkit, you think?
Yeah, it's a toolkit. Yes.
Okay.
So I just use basically the same ingredients, and I was not sure about the green pepper and all that, but it's delicious. Like, I will make this salsa just for me. So we really enjoy it. Marianne and I, we were eating, and I think it was like 8:30 or something like that in the morning when we were taking pictures, but we were having a good time with our salsa and chips. So every time that we're using spices, I just love like to have like even clear containers. These come from the dollar store, and it's like you ask them to smell and to see the colors and to maybe try to guess what kind of ingredients we're having in here. I have the chips in here. This is a squeezer. So they love to use this thing. So when I'm planning to like order stuff like to have for teachers to borrow, and that's one of the tools that I would like to have for each child so they can have a good time squeezing the limes. So in here, the ingredients that we have, again, everything is in the handout. We need half of a Roma tomato, and I say Roma tomato because that's my favorite, but you can have any tomatoes from your garden. We also need 1/4 of yellow pepper. And I say yellow pepper because it looks really good on your salsa, but you can use any color. Then we have a green onion, just a little piece. Okay. Then we have 2 sprigs of cilantro. And again, all these, like, we need to smell each ingredient with the children and like, just describe each ingredient. And then we have the lime, and this is 1/8 of a lime. Okay, so the tools that we're going to need in here, we have scissors, and I just bought regular scissors, and I have them in a different box than from my craft scissors. And this is what we use all the time with children, and they love to cut food with scissors. Then we have a spoon, and we have our knife. And we are going to need a bowl. And in this case, we're just using a disposable bowl. And of course, the chips. And what did I missing? I think I'm good. Do I need one? Oh, I need to move my tray because they can see. Okay, that's good. So then I'm going back to my directions. I have all my tools. I have all my ingredients. The first thing that I need to do is to get rid of my seeds. This is optional, but it's so much fun. So, and sometimes I do these with people that are not able to eat seeds. So I just scrape all these, okay? And you can put it in your compost, okay? So this is ready. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna chop our tomato, okay? Just remind the children, if they try to chop it this way, they're going to have a hard time because it's very smooth. But if they do it on this side, it's so much easier. So we are going to cut first. We're going to cut strips. Okay. We're going to cut. And again, this is a time that, like, I don't like people to rush me when I'm in the kitchen, right? So we don't rush children. So we let them cut, and we can show them how to hold the knife, and then we can show them how to cut the different shapes of cuttings. And then we are gonna chop in very small pieces, okay?
Anna, hold on really quick. I have someone that's saying that, you know what? Keep going. I'm gonna put Emma on this one, okay?
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you're chopping, and while you're chopping, you can be describing the colors of your vegetables, or what is your favorite type of tomato? How do we have any other tomatoes in the garden? So all that. Okay, and sometimes children, they come and ask me, is that a good, the size of these tomatoes fine, or do I need to cut them smaller? So all those conversations that we're having while we are cooking, they're very important, right? That's why we are talking about having early literacy or food literacy, okay? Because if not, if we're just trying to do an activity for just because, it is not the same, right? So now we can even use our fine motor skills, and we can use the spoon to put everything in our bowl. Okay. So the next step, I need to look at my recipe, I think, is to cut the pepper. So let's see. Oh no, the cilantro. So I'm gonna use my scissors. And then I'm just gonna cut my cilantro with my scissors. Again, if they do big pieces, that's fine. But in here, we're just like letting them explore, letting them having a good time. And you know best. The best way for children to learn is by playing. And we want them to feel like they're playing, even when we're directing their play. Okay. And they love, Marianne says, they love the smell of cilantro. So, and because we're cutting it, like actually the smells comes out. Like I can't wait to eat the salsa. Okay. And again, when you're reading that book, and I'm sure you're familiar with Chicks and Salsa, it's really cool that, oh, after we're reading this book, now I'm making the salsa. So our next step is to cut our pepper. Okay. And we just need to tell them, remember the same way that we cut our tomato, same way that we're going to cut our pepper. Okay, and sometimes the pepper doesn't want to cut, but we just go several times and we can do it. And actually, if you just think that it's easier to cut your pepper, look at this. Oh, and we are just, this is easier than cutting paper. So this is a good way to practice. Okay. And again, when we're cutting, all these juices, they're coming out, and it's just a great experience and a wonderful way to explore different fruits and vegetables. Okay, I have one more. And then my next, it will be the green, oopsie, the scallion or the green onion. Okay, and I can use my scissors again. So a lot of practice with fine motor skills. So many colors in here that we can talk about. That are just not that we just it's more than colors, because we know that each fruit and each vegetable, they have different nutrients according to their colors. So that is really good. Okay. And we just need to tell children that when they get close to the edge, to be careful not to cut themselves. But so the next thing that we need to do is to squeeze our line. Okay, this is so cool when they learn how to do this. And I have seen many adults that they don't know how to use this squeezer. So we go in here and we put all the juices, and maybe we want to turn it so we can get the juices from the other side. And now it's time to put the pepper and a little bit of salt. Okay. And then the garlic powder. Okay. And I'm just going to mix everything. And then, of course, it's time to taste. I'm not going to taste because I don't think we have too much time. And you can give them a little bit of chips. And look at this. I know. I want some too. Okay, I'm going to put this one in here. Any questions?
Yes, one question I saw earlier was, how can they do this with 1- and 2-year-olds? And I really think the first activity that was done, you can do that with the 1- and 2-year-olds, as far as just the strawberries, maybe, utilizing 2 fruits with them, berries, bananas. Those are something big that won't get lodged down your throat. Instead of using the skewers, you could also use I was going to say pipe cleaners. They're the coffee stirrers.
Mhm.
I know some toddler teachers, they have used the coffee stirrers. They're shorter anyway, so they don't mess up a lot of fruit. Or utilizing the straw. Once they stick it all the way through the fruit, it can still stay on that straw, with the 1 and 2-year-olds. But I also know on our website, there is a video of me doing a salad activity with 2-year-olds. And the biggest thing is that once you start with your toddler age children and you start with a routine with them and you get them into this routine in which they're doing cooking activities all the time with you or gardening, they really start to respect that and understand that once you're getting ready to go to the table, like Anna, if she puts on her apron, this is what this means. So I need to come over here and sit down, wash my hands, have a seat, and then we're getting ready to do a fun activity like this. But it's about the routine. Please add, Anna.
Yes, I agree. I think, some recipes are easier for preschoolers to do, but with younger children, it's more about exploration. And also you're going to have to cut you just to, because of the choking hazard. But anything that they can like even with the salsa, I would say just explore the tomato and talk about the tomato, and maybe not doing the salsa, but because they're going to start learning that young, when they get to preschool and they are able to do this activity, they already have a lot of vocabulary and a lot of knowledge about that specific fruit. So I would say it's more about exploration and about tasting, because the more that you expose children to try different things, they're going to be able to say, when they're ready to do a recipe, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, maybe no, I remember, but oh, yes, I have seen this before, and that's how they're going to start trying more things. Remember that, especially 1 and 2 years old, that's the time when they're not developing those picky, like, oh, I don't like these, I don't like that, because they are in that age when they want to try different things. So we need to use that opportunity. I hope we answered your question. Okay, are we ready for the next recipe? Before, I want to share this wonderful book. It's so cute. I have this is actually, every time that I do training for you, it's an excuse for me to get a new book. So this is a book that I found that I thought that was just so cute. The little mouse. I don't know if you already have this book, but the little mouse wants to know what is an apple, and while he's trying to figure out what an apple is, he's learning how, from a little seed, and then how an apple tree grows. So it is just so good. And again, you just watch the video. I was able to find the video and I enjoyed that. So the next thing, again, you have your recipe and we have the Harvest of the Month handout. So you can continue with that conversation, not just in this at school or at your center, but also with the family. So we have, for this recipe, we have apple nachos. Are you ready to make some apple nachos? So for this recipe, we're going to need an apple. And actually, we need like 4 slices. I don't cut my apples in advance if I don't have a lot of children. But if you have a lot of children, you will need to treat them with lime juice or lemon juice. So that way you have the time to kind of like talk to them. But if there are not that many, I cut the apple in front of them and they love that experience. Also, we're going to need some chocolate syrup, some caramel syrup, and sprinkles. That's it. So the first thing that we're going to do, as a teacher, you will be the one that is cutting the apple. Okay. This is a huge apple, and I know I'm going to make a mess. And this is my favorite apple, Honey Crisp. Whoop. Oh. Okay, you need to be very strong for these apples. Okay, I got it. So with this apple cutter, I get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 slices. So, but what the children are going to do, so you're going to give them their 4 slices, okay? And what they're going to do, they're going to slice the apple. Let me move this in here. So you're going to say, we need very skinny, thin slices. So they're going to, and this is so easy to cut. Okay, so we're just going to cut these. If you have one of those apple cutters that they have thicker slices, that's fine. You can use that. But you see, it was so cool. Can you imagine the children watching me cutting the apple? Yeah, that was kind of funny, right? I know. I have done it before, and normally it works in front of the children. But again, when I'm in front of the camera, that doesn't work. Okay, so I'm cutting my apples. This is a very crunchy apple. And the apple that I'm using is Honeycrisp apple. And just because it's my favorite, but you can use any kind. That was a huge apple. Okay. So after you have all your apple cut, okay, you see, I'm using a plastic knife and I'm not having any problem. So with the children, they should not have any problem. And again, those are fancy knives, but before, when I just started, I used the regular knives. So we're going to put all these like they're chips, like they're nachos. That's why we call it like this. Okay. And then we are going to put some caramel. And again, you see, I'm squeezing. Oh, yeah, that happens. That also happens. Yeah.
That's a happy mistake for any child. I'm telling you, that's a happy mistake.
And that child is going to be so happy.
Yes.
Well, we're going to pretend that you didn't see that part.
Exactly. That's when you get that one child that's always busy, 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 busy in your classroom. And then when that happens, they sit there still as a mouse and you're like, what happened? What's going on? What is going on with them? Because they don't want you to see it, guys.
I know. Hopefully they would not be that strong. I'm going to say that I was too strong. Okay. Then after you do the caramel, you do the chocolate, and their favorite, they just do the sprinkles. And let me see how much sprinkles we're putting. Tablespoon. So it's not a lot. Okay. I just like the caramel, but you know. So let me show you how beautiful is this plate. Oh. See, I'm going to eat a lot of caramels right now.
Yes, you are. You're going to have a nice little afternoon snack.
Yeah. Okay. So questions, comments about my blurb? Okay. Marianne is saying I didn't have enough strength for the apple, but I have a lot for the caramel. So I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'm going to leave this in here. And I'm making a mess in here. Okay, we're going to get our next tray. Oh, and I want to share with you, this is the way we do when we have classes. I need to wash my hands because I have caramel everywhere. When we're doing our classes, we use those trays to put the ingredients. So in one tray, it will be all the apples, and another tray will be all the caramel, whatever we're using. So that way we can keep everything organized. Okay, so we're going to go to our next slide. And this is, I needed to use this one. I love this book, The Carrot Seed. I know it's 75 years old. And but it's just a sweet book. I think I love it. And so this is actually to say to the children, remember when we read the apple seed? Oh, well, now we have the carrot seed. And it's kind of like a great way to compare. But for the carrot seed, our recipe is, Marianne? We need to show it to them. Or it's a zippy carrot dip, okay? And we don't have the Harvest of the Month for carrots for North Carolina, but I found these, it's a very similar handout. So hopefully I'm going to request this one so we can have North Carolina facts. But this recipe, what I like about this recipe, that has a lot of spices, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you too. It is hard to find a recipe with carrots that is not cooked. We have a salad and we did the salad, but we wanted to do something different. So that's why we did the dip. So, but what I have in here, we have a little bit of salt, and you have the amounts there. Then we have dry dill. So you can imagine, like, the smell is really cool. Then we have garlic powder, we have onion powder, and we have dried parsley, and we also have dried chives, and we have Greek yogurt. So this is a wonderful combination. Then when we were doing it, and you can, oh, and also we have rice vinegar. I thought it was empty, but it's just a little bit, and rice vinegar. So when we did this, you know, we love to try. We were like, oh my goodness, this is so good. So even if you want it for your snacks, you need to try this. I have 10 more minutes. Okay, so for this one, the only thing that you need is a bowl and a spoon. So basically what you're going to do, you're going to put your Greek yogurt, and I'm going to be honest, yogurt is not my favorite thing in the world, but I love this dip. So, and Greek yogurt is not my favorite either. So like I can do regular yogurt, but not Greek yogurt, but this is just amazing. So, and the good thing about this, the children can do whatever they want. Like I said, just let them smell and explore these spices, because everything is going to go in the bowl. So I don't even need to look the recipe. Uh-oh, it's not coming out. Now I'm so scared of my strength that I'm really having a hard time. Okay, so I will put all the spices in here. Like I said, you can talk a lot about a little bit about these. And also, if you're growing any of these herbs, show them how to dry them and then use those spices to put in here. Like actually, we were working in one recipe that hopefully we'll be sharing with you in October. That I think you're going to love it. We love it. So, okay. And then we'll mix. And this is very important. You know, children, they need to also have these, again, fine motor skills. And we can talk about the texture and like different things. Okay. And this is looking really, 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 really good. And then what a better way to use this dip. This I was going to say that tasted like ranch, but it tastes so much better. So let's see. And then you just use, okay, I'm good. Okay, just use a carrot and eat. But I'm not going to eat it because I'm going to talk, and I'm not going to be able to talk, but I really want to eat this. So here is, okay. So we have those 4 recipes. And now what we want to share with you, you can use your phone and you can look at the QR, you can scan the QR code and it will take you directly to the Google Drive, where you can get the handouts, the presentation, what else? The posters, recipes. So it's everything is there, but also Emma will be able to, if you can scan the QR code, she will share the link with you. Okay, so any questions or ideas? I love ideas and questions too. Is anybody talking? Because I can't hear.
I'm still muted. I'm sorry.
Okay, I see that you're doing this, but I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm over here talking. I was telling everybody, Anna, thank you. You did wonderful on time because we still have until 4:45. So you guys, please share what you've been doing with children. The question was asked earlier about activities with 1 and 2-year-olds. I know someone out there has had to do something. This is our time and our space to share that so that we can get ideas and we can continue this in different entities. So please, please open up and share now.
Miss Sharonda, in Union County, we saw your videos on the website with the spinach smoothie. And we
Oh.
replicated that in classrooms. And the children loved it. Oh my goodness. And we got them like,
Miss Cindy, real quick, I did it here in December and changed it from a shamrock smoothie to the Grinch smoothie.
yes, Grinch, we did Grinch. And so they eat, you know, we did like you did and had the little taste test beforehand of the spinach. And they really, it was shocking that some asked for more and they wanted to eat the spinach. And so
Yes.
we
With no ranch,
enjoyed that.
right? With no ranch.
Yes, with none. No
Yes.
ranch. And Marcus came and helped do the demonstration and we made it something we've done. So having this like you've just done is a good way for us to see how to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm gonna try my best, y'all, to get some more with toddlers up there. Okay, I only have the one thus far, so I have to go into another school, which I think I found one here in Rocky Mount because I got to go in November and in December because they wanted me to come back. And that's why I say kids, when they realize what's happening, they get into that routine. So I had no issues when I came back that second time. Those babies sat down quiet, and the biggest thing was, can I go to the table first? You know, so
Sharonda, too, if they will think about those early years, we are just introducing art, just how the paint feels, how things feel, the smells. So that's really what we would do with the cooking. It's just introductory. Yeah.
Exactly. You're right. And it can and if it winds up being because you know they're gonna put it in their mouth, it's okay. Because it's all those herbs out there. Oh my goodness, you know, just those alone, that could be a whole year for in the life of a toddler. Who else has some more thoughts? Thank you, Cindy.
thank you.
Come on, guys, you can't stay quiet. And you know me. If you
Hi.
guys don't know me, you know I'll call on you. So let me put it out that way. I am the old school. I am that person that will call on you. So come and share. That's why we're here.
Hi. My
Hi,
name
I
is
hear saying
Bernice.
hi. Oh,
I'm
Bernice.
Bernice.
Okay.
So I have 3 boys, and what I like to do is I also used to work for an early child program, and what we used to do a lot was do like bugs out of fruits and vegetables. Have you guys ever tried that?
I have not. I have to
Yes.
say I have not.
I know that the kids love that a lot. Like, for example, they're more simple, so sometimes cooking deeper wouldn't work for some of the ones that we had because they were very picky eaters. But if we would get like oranges and grapes, we would make like butterflies out of that, and they love that. I was just wondering because it's something really cute.
That is a
That's cool.
wonderful idea. I really, I love to do art because I think, especially for some that sometimes if you're doing finger paint, they have a texture issue. But if you help them to start it with just with food, and you give them, sometimes they don't even want to touch the food. But if you can start with a fork, moving the different items and cutting, is when they start getting like really familiar, and then they start touching food. That's a great idea. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Who else? Miss Martin, are you there? Tasha? Latasha, are you there? I see you. Your babies are out for the summer, right?
If we don't
We
have
can't hear you if you're talking. I'm sorry.
I do want to take my.
Okay, you got some babies with you. Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
That is fine. That is fine. Miss Donna, I see you just came off.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. We went out. We had a parent come in, but my boys were sitting here watching you cook, and they want to try the apple with the caramel and the.
That's great, though.
I will be picking that up this weekend, and we'll probably do that try next week.
Well, I'm
Just
just
don't
happy
put too much
that you let them
caramel.
see it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That is so cool. You let them see it. I really think that that's wonderful because that's what she was just talking to us about. That's a piece of it too, the visual. So they actually get to see it.
Well, they like it.
Cool.
They like watching her fixing. So hopefully now they know what we'll be doing.
Okay.
We're going to see if they can remember the steps. That's really good.
That's right.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yeah. Well, thank you for showing us all that. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to share with us today?
Next week, we're going to be doing some edible science. So I hope you can join us because it's going to be fun.
Ooh, edible science. I love the title.
Mhm.
Well, I hope all of you guys come again next week and spread the word. Have somebody else join us as well. As always, you know, you get your training out for attending with us. And I would love to see the pictures, guys. You know, we have our institute in October. I want to be able to share these photos. So Miss Donna, if you do this next week, Miss Latasha, because I see your kids are up and watching, send us those pictures so we can add them in, okay? That's what we want to see. All right, I have another one that said, sounds interesting, Anna. I think the edible science. So I look forward to that one.
Thanks.
And also all the recipes were nice. I am looking forward to edible science. Okay, so you have piqued some interest with your title. All right, well, I thank everyone for attending today. And if all hearts and minds are clear, we are good. And you can enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you next week.
Thank you.